Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Captain's Draft 4.0 North American Grand Finals. It is Immortals versus Complexity Gaming. And boy, that was one of the most ridiculous stomps I've seen by a team at this level of competitive Dota. It was ridiculous. Complexity out to a fast start. The kill score at the end of the game was 3-22. They had Z-Freak, who had like 8 kills or something along those lines, at a support win ranger. Seven. My bad. Sorry about that. But my God, did he destroy that game there, Kevin?
Yeah, he really did. I was actually very disappointed looking at the score screen because he bought this Midas at a really fast time, and the game was over so fast, and he didn't even get to do anything cool with it other than win. But it was just it was a downer. I was like, man, I wanted to see the next 20 minutes at least of him buying items and killing people and doing cool things. But all we get to see is like his early game genius. That's all. Oh well.
Oh, well, but Wind Ranger doesn't look to be available in this game. Not that it matters in the first place. I think that he could play pretty much just about anything. We have some interesting heroes. Broodmother probably gets banned out here by Immortals. It is a very strong, like, 5th pick type hero if they want to go for it. What else is jumping out at you with this draft so far?
No Morphling. There's no Morphling.
Damn it. Unfortunate.
That's all that matters. Venge first pick, I think, is pretty good. The hero's actually... got pretty solid buffs. Especially like the aura is actually quite a bit better. The like illusion spawn thing is surprisingly beneficial, and I think like if you get up to level 20, you can basically give your whole team like 50% damage amp. I mean, there was a perk like that at 25 before, but it seems like Ice Fog moved a lot of level 25 talents to a less beneficial but still strong level 20. So I think Avenge is just like a super good support right now. Really good with this patch.
We've seen a lot of core Venges, actually, and in fact, the majority of the Venges I've seen in the past few days, and especially at the Dota Pit Miner, were core Venges, trying to maybe finish the game off earlier, trying to go for this early game pushing lineup. But Immortals will go for something they're comfortable with. They'll pick up the Gyrocopter, which has been played by MP, I think, in the last 2 days. He's played it like 3 times or something along those lines. So he sometimes will play it in the safe lane or aggressive tri lane, or he'll play it mid. And then they also get the Nyx Assassin with their second overall pick here as well.
Yeah, I saw the mid Nyx last night in China.
Oh, yeah.
SECC. That was pretty cool.
It was nuts. It was very
I don't know
crazy.
if there's too many big changes to Gyro, though. Like, Homing Missile is a little different, but that's really the main thing. It was like 5 or 6 Homing Missile changes and a couple perks. Yeah, they removed the Spell Amp at 10. They put a damage perk there, so he's a little bit more diverse in build options as well. He gets more Flat Cannon at 15, so... Not that different, but definitely a little bit better, a little bit more variety for that hero. So I could definitely see him coming into the game a bit harder.
Yeah. Last time they've picked this up, the Gyrocopter, they had the Spectre. In the last 2 games, they've actually picked Gyrocopter. They've had QO on the Spectre. And I think along those lines, they might want to do something similar. Maybe get a hero involved once he hits 6 and go from there. But
why was Spectre the combo with Gyro?
I think honestly, like he like what would happen is the Gyro would just run around the map, and then if they had a chance of getting a kill with like Rocket Barrage and they needed haunt, he would just haunt in, and he would find plenty of pickoffs. And it was like just constantly, it was Immortal style, right? It was Immortal style with a Spectre involved, which was really interesting.
Huh.
So now, I mean, I don't know exactly what the reasoning was for it, but that's what I remember out of the games. They were, I think, a few days ago or something. Or
yeah, I mean, we could definitely see that between Nyx and Gyro. That's 2 heroes that are definitely very good early game and can run around and take fights like that. Because I don't think Gyro is really made to just AFK farm a whole crap load, unless you go like an Ags build or something like that. He's not the fastest neutral farmer, so it works a little bit better if you just run around fighting people with your skills.
Yeah. But that might be difficult into the Venomous there and Visage now picked up for Complexity, which feels like they want to go fast.
You know what's crazy is that they actually picked Visage and respond to Gyro. It's kind of a little dangerous because if you break his armor on Visage, the Gravekeeper's Cloak, you can shred those bats real fast with Flat Cannon and Call Down and all this stuff. So it seemed a little crazy, but in the same vein, I think Gyro is actually quite weak to single target physical damage and minus armor. So if they're going on Gyro in the reverse side with like a medallion, I think he could actually get killed quite quickly.
Wow, this team just got out of control really quick. Tidehunter and Silencer to follow up for Immortals. It's a big team fight. Both Ravage, now Global Silence available. Frontline tank for the Tidehunter. This is very exciting.
Seems very difficult to counter. Like, how do you deal with this now? It looked okay with like Visage and Swap and Venom ulti, but now if they just silence that and deal their damage up front, it could be really bad for Cole. But if they can survive that burst in the team fight, they should be able to have the longevity to cut through Immortals right afterwards.
Yeah, this is going to be the tough part. We have a few more heroes available. I actually think, I don't know, we've seen a lot of mid-visage for Excalibur for Fnatic, and that was sort of successful. I'm not sure if that's the case here for Complexity. It's been so diverse, I suppose, this hero. That and Venomancer, obviously, who could just go anywhere. So this draft is still very open-ended for Complexity. I mean, what are you expecting next for them in terms of what they need to pick?
I mean, if your opponents have Silencer and Tidehunter, you should be scared right now at team fighting. It looked okay for them, but they either need solutions to those disables. There's a lifesteal. You could maybe pick that to not have to deal as much with Ravage. You still have to worry about getting Silence first, but and instead they're just going to go for like a push gank kind of hero pick. I assume that'll be Z-Freak playing the Chen.
Yes.
Because this way, if you're worried about Global Silence and Ravage, you just need to ideally pressure them before they get that many items. And if you take a lot of towers and kind of split push, it's difficult for your opponents then to group as 5. Kind of similar to what happened last game. So I think the Chen pick here is either to give them an early advantage with tower kills, or a ganking lane pressure advantage with Chen, or to just kind of split push and push towers and make it hard for your opponents to group up as 5 and actually fight you.
Yeah. Conversely, we've seen Chen's have a rough start in the past few days, especially yesterday in China. And once that happens, you're already behind it at that point. Like, he wasn't able to farm in the jungle. This is AO from VG Thunder, by the way. He wasn't able to farm in the jungle. He wasn't able to find any kills. I feel like you kind of need to make something happen here for this Chen, whether it's pushing towers like you mentioned or finding kills. But now it gets easier because they pick up the last pick Void coming in. I think this is really good when you add in the Visage and the Vengeful Spirit and the Venomancer. I like this pick a lot. It is a big cooldown against Silencer, but I think it's pretty good for Complexity.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good, especially because if you just chrono the Tide and the Silencer, then you know they're disabled. And you don't have to worry about Kraken Shell either. What's the new Kraken counter? Wasn't there something that was added? Like for some reason I felt Kraken was limited. Is it
not Nullifier? That's not it. That wouldn't do it. I don't know actually.
Because hexes they can be hard dispelled, right? Or they can't be dispelled at all?
They can't be dispelled anymore.
Okay, so basically hexes against Tidehunter are really good.
Right.
That was what I was thinking, because you can hex him now and you don't
yeah,
have to
you
Kraken.
should be able to, and Kraken shouldn't be an issue.
Or you could just use Chronosphere.
By the way,
also a good option.
Gale is dispellable now, right? So I wonder if that is affected by Kraken Shell. Right? So
yep. Yeah, it is actually. So if he gets Galed, yeah, he can Kraken proc that
that's
off.
huge. That's like one of the biggest slows they have, one of the biggest lockdown mechanics for the Venomancer. Just immediately gone on the Tidehunter if he has Kraken Shell leveled up.
I mean, he's going to be, yeah, I suppose it's a lot of damage too, actually. So it's an interesting point, actually. I wonder if that makes Tidehunter really beneficial to have against a hero like Veno now.
Yeah, I think it might. We'll wait and see how it actually works out. I mean, this might all be good in theory, and then we get into the game and...
This Febby's World of Warcraft Nyx Assassin cosmetics.
Why is that a WoW cosmetic?
Dude, look at all the armor pieces. They're like huge and gaudy and awesome.
Yeah, you're right. He's got the blue shoulders. It looks like a tier set from World of Warcraft. You're not wrong. He also has 2 different colored... Oh, no, that's the Tide's sword. Never mind. But yeah, this is actually... You're not wrong.
Cool shit going on in that area of the draft screen, that's for sure.
Dude, there were so many particle effects now in drafts once like everybody picks their heroes. I've seen like 3 golden Immortals in like the same, I don't know, the same thing, like the same on the same team, and then the other team has like 20,000 different Immortals that have particle effects, and it's just like, what's actually happening right now? So much stuff going on.
Yeah, it's a Dota 2.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, all these item sets, but for now, we will jump into the game. We will have Complexity versus Immortals. So, I mean, I guess I'll ask you the same question. How do you feel about Immortals? Personally, I think Immortals has a really good draft, but maybe Complexity can finish this game off early enough, perhaps?
I think it's definitely possible, because if they get an advantage with the Chen, and then you have a hero like Faces of Void, it gives you this like overwhelming teamfight power where you can, if you find the pick, you can kill 2 heroes and instantly go high ground. And if they buy back, then you just wait to do that again, and then the game ends.
It could be
Maybe
interesting.
I'm simplifying it a bit, especially because Immortals now has some counter push. They basically saw what their opponents are doing. And it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't see it coming. At least I saw Visage, Veno, Venge, and I was like, it looks pretty normal, right? But as soon as they picked the Chen, it was very obvious. Veno is good at pushing and counter pushing. Visage can do that as well. Even Vengeful Spirit's good at that stuff. So it's like their lineup was actually designed from the beginning to be about pushing and not show their hand until it was a little bit too late. And Immortals, I think, kind of played right into that, picking all the teamfight heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all right, Febby. No worries, buddy. Maybe he had a rough game last game, man. Let me tell you. That Slaughter game was one of the roughest games I've seen from him. He died so often.
I don't even think he played bad. That was the crazy part. Like, I don't even fault him at all for how that went. It was just like really sick complexity reactions to the ganks and things.
I mean, that dive
Like,
at
he made
level
great
1,
decisions.
like that should have been a kill. They were able to get out, but like, I don't know, the aggro got screwed up somehow. Then they lost the courier. That's not necessarily his fault. I agree completely, though. I think that Febby, that game is not on him in terms of like his deaths and stuff like that. That's just a rough game overall. And once they started getting behind, he just couldn't find enough. But
yeah. I'm excited to see Forev play Tidehunter. This is like one of his classic heroes. He used to play this a lot in Korea as well. He used to do a bunch of builds where he'd only buy like regen and tank items. He wouldn't even buy blink, and he'd just like stand there.
Yeah,
and tank damage. It was pretty fun to watch.
That's kind of how I've seen Tide played recently. There's not been that like first item blink at all. I think the closest I've seen to that is like a 4-staff at the beginning of the game. But most of the time, it's like, all right, let me get maybe like a hood or a pipe. Let me get a mech as well with Greaves, and maybe I'll buy blink after that. We'll see.
Yeah, just because it enhances your team's team fight. Any regen you buy is going to be further buffed up by him having high strength. He's going to have status resistance reduction. Does that even matter? Probably not, because you have Kraken Shell anyways, but this man can tank damage. He's got a golden hat. He's got a shell on his back, dude. He's ready to fight.
He could go Andus, can just be even more tanky. Oh, QO. Magic Missile coming in. They need more follow-up. They've got the Grave Chill. He is in trouble. There's the Gale. And they'll use the Arcane Curse, but QO is going to fall. Maybe they can get the deny off. No such luck. Z-Freak will get first blood. And there you go. Aggressive play. It will pay off and get them some extra gold to start things off with here.
That was pretty good. They're also going to block the small camp with that ward, I think. Yeah. So pulling is a lot harder now in Dota 2. You have to wait until the 1 minute mark, and then you have to start your pull. So if one of these two camps is blocked, especially the small camp, you're just completely limited as a safe lane being able to do the pull.
I mean, because the hard camp's also a lot harder to pull. It used to be almost free if you're pulling like from your safe lane into the this camp into this lane. It used to be pretty easy. Now it's much harder, much more difficult to get the timing down correct.
You can basically only go to the off lane, and for that to even work, your creep wave has to be like way up there. Otherwise, you'll never actually get the pull off. So by blocking the small camp, it's setting Cole up really well in the off lane, and it's going to be Avenge faces Void dual lane. It is going to be Chessie on the mid lane playing Visage, so you called that one.
Yeah,
and then safe lane, Limp, Solo, Veno versus Gyro, Nyx.
This could still be pretty rough for Chessie until he gets Gravekeeper's Cloak. He will throw up the Grave Chill in the meantime. He's going to be able to get some last hits, or should be able to. This matchup, the worst matchup I've seen for Visage is the Nether Toxin from Viper with the break. I saw that for Excalibur, and he got absolutely destroyed because of it. It was a problem.
So does the break always apply in the AoE? Is
yes,
that how it works?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
That explains why I died so often.
It's really good. It's a really good ability.
Yeah, that seems to be one of the heroes that I was seeing pretty consistently at Dota Pit.
Yeah, it was picked a lot. It was just kind of the go-to. Meanwhile, top lane and Pale Limp might be in trouble. They'll rotate up Kyle, which means that bottom is now going to turn into a 1 versus 1 with Moo versus the Tidehunter. And this
it's kind of bad for Faceless Void, but also doesn't matter that much because if he gets Anchor Smash for too much damage, he just Time Walks it. And he also gets damage against the Tide using Time Lock, so it's not all bad. They should probably trade semi-evenly. He's got a Quelling Blade as well on Void, so I think even with his damage reduction, I don't think it's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, I agree. It might be kind of annoying if the Anchor Smash keeps stacking, or not stacking, keeps hitting him. Meanwhile, Z-Freak is trying to make something happen here. They know that he's not top lane. They're trying to head into the jungle. Fibby's trying to get some vision. Now they'll wrap in. MP might walk up and get caught here. This is perfect positioning for Z-Freak. Yeah, he's got the skeletons, dude. Mortal Strike's already up. He even summons more. And MP...
Oh, he's going to cut through.
He's trying. Here comes the Dark Troll Summoner to start this off. The Grave Chill. MP is in trouble. He's got laser. He will use it onto Chessie. They've got the ensnare. This is a bit of a dive. Still a lot of damage. Not a kill yet. Close. The Fairy Fire. One more auto attack. It won't be enough. And he salves up as well. Good attempt there. A lot of regen had to be used, but MP will survive. And Chessie also getting pretty low.
That's one of those moments where you blame your Visage for having level 2 Gravekeeper's Cloak, but he probably had to do it because there's a lot of damage that Tinker can use to harass him, and just having this one skill point is going to reduce the laser he takes and all that stuff. But if he had Soul Assumption, yeah, that would have been a kill 100%.
Absolutely. So a bit unfortunate. Again, like you mentioned, it's not the worst thing in the world, the Visage having that Gravekeeper's Cloak. He's actually holding a point now, too. I think he's waiting. Maybe he comes back and they go for another kill, and this time he has Soul Assumption, but for now... It's just back to farming. Some harass still in this top lane. Immortals putting a lot of pressure. And that's really where things are going well. Gyrocopter has 13 last hits. In fact, really all of these lanes are going pretty well for Immortals. So.
I think they'll be really happy with this. They do a side pull as well. Like, compared to last game where they lost 3 lanes, they've got to be ecstatic with this so far.
Yeah, that
the
last
first
game
deep
was
freak
rough.
kill doesn't work. He's still only level 2 here. Kyle's felt semi-ineffective as well. He started in the off lane, then he TP'd the safe lane. That didn't really produce anything.
They're gonna
But they
go
need
bottom.
to get a kill with this now.
They have a Satyr. They have Magic Missile. What level Kraken Shield is he at? Just
Level 2.
Two,
This
actually.
can be really hard. He's got a magic wand. He's got 800 HP.
Moo doesn't do any damage, even with time lock bashes. Like, look at that. This is really tough. Wave of Terror will help. They've got the pendants coming out as well. It's a lot of damage. They should have a Shockwave. No, it's 3 seconds. They need a Magic Missile. He didn't use it. He's almost in range.
Out of range.
He's not going to get
slower.
it. They'll cancel the salve. But this is, again, the second failed gang coming in from Complexity, which makes things not great for them at the start of this game.
Yeah, the one negative for Venge is that level 1 stun. It's kind of short range. It's a pretty low stun duration. And he didn't stay close enough. And even if he did, I'm not 100% certain they would have gotten the kill anyways. They just didn't have enough reliable disable to like recast after the first Kraken proc.
Agreed. So it's sad they don't get the kill for Complexity, but Immortals, again, they're having a great start. MP, or excuse me, QO is the one of the Gyrocopter this time. It was surprising compared to how he's been playing it usually on MP, but he has 28 last hits for now. He's building into an Aquila. He has it. Now raindrops will be next. Bottom lane, they're going to go again looking for Forever. They're just going to harass him. Pendants came out. They threw up the Shockwave, but again, no damage. Moo's only level 4. They're looking for a potential fight here, but MP throws up the March. He has a rune as well, and it was an arcane rune. They don't want to fight into that for sure.
Yeah, the reason MP's playing Tinker is because historically he was always one of the better Tinker players in Korea, so not surprised to see him on it. QO, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen QO play Tinker. I don't think it ever happened.
It doesn't seem like a QO hero. Although maybe.
You have to be too patient. It's not enough YOLO. You know?
Exactly. Bloodseeker's more his style, I feel like. But he's very good at it.
Skilling stats on Gyrocopter this game. Interesting build idea.
Yeah. All right. He's really thinking about this. Level 2 homing missile. I miss the days where you could skill stats, dude. Come on.
I do not actually. I think it was a great design idea to force people to not do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't know. Like take your skills, damn it. It's harder to balance as well, and you have to worry about like players that would skip skills entirely to get set. It was kind of weird. I didn't like it. But anyways, the reason he hasn't skilled, okay, except for homing missile because he loves homing missile, is because he doesn't know if he's gonna need to like AFK farm with flat cannon. Maybe he's going to rocket barrage to get a kill. And once you commit to one or the other, then you really are sad when you don't have the other option when it's needed. So I think his build options right now are great. Homing missile is apparently OP.
Yeah, he really likes it. I think there's a good chance that this turns into a run-at-you style of game because, again, it's Immortals. He's not really behind, so he could just start running at people, especially if he gets like Phase Drum, which was the build for MP the past few days. So that might be the case. Chessie is level 6 now. And they need to get something done at this point. They're going to try for it. Magic Missile and Gale coming in. Homing Missile to fly out. The Flat Cannon will go. And they will have Dubu to help too. Another Plague Ward drop. The Poison Sting. A couple of more auto attacks won't be enough. And now Limp last worded up. Dubu might get this kill. Almost going to grab it. And Pale comes out. Bats on the other side looking for QO. And he gets it. And here comes Chessie right on through. Now the Homing Missile will hit him. That'll take some damage. It's level 3, but he's still pretty tanky at this point. Febby coming back in. I think Febby actually is the one that needs to be careful. He's got Impale, maybe not him. MP's running right in. He's going to have lasers and homing or heat-seeking missiles as well. Wow, that bird drop coming in is absolutely outstanding coming in from Chessie. And they will still get Limp on the other side. Meanwhile, Move finds Forev bottom with a kill. While this fight is happening, they probably used Chrono for it. And in fact, they did. So
Chessie TP's out just in time there. That was really, really good for Cole. I don't even know if they're going to kill the Gyrocopter because it seemed like he was taking no damage there. And that's just because the Venom went the 1-1-3 build, which is just for safety, farming, stuff like that. But with the bats coming in, the rotation there from Chessie, it all works out. They only lost one.
Chessie was in. He was aggressive. He actually... I thought if MP wasn't there, the next assassin would have died. But he does show up in time. Yeah, they lost Limp, which is a bit unfortunate. But again, they got that kill bottom, which is huge. Moo has to use Chronosphere, obviously, but Z-Freak finally getting involved. He's level 4. He's going to go straight towards Ags. But it's going to be kind of tough there. They slowed down a little bit at the beginning of this game. Can they still hit that timing window in this mid-game to maybe go for these pushes?
I'm just kind of surprised he's rushing Ags, unless somebody else is going mech. Maybe the Venomancer was the plan here.
That could be interesting.
But I mean, are there any Ags, like any Ancients that are really valuable this game? I guess against a teamfight lineup, maybe it makes a lot of sense to grab things like the Ancient Golem, just to amp everybody's HP.
Yep.
Just to survive through the combos.
I think so too. think it's very strong this game.
Because they're going to have basically Chen auras, they're going to have Venge aura, they can have like neutral creep auras, just keep everybody alive through the fights with like a mech. And maybe a Vlad's, and afterwards just fight him back.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he might just change. Well, no, he's not. He bought a point booster. I thought he might have changed his decision, but he's bought the point booster already. And 3,000 gold away now for that Aghanim Scepter. He also has a big Chen army here. He's got 3 of the best creeps in that regard. Hellbearer, Satyr, along with the Dark Troll. Oh, come on. They got MP mid. My bad.
Sorry, I missed it too. I don't know if that was a smoke or not. He's got 3 points in Soul Assumption. It's seems kind of weird, but I think it makes a lot of sense here because the ability scales super well. I mean, it's a 32% movement speed slow for 5.75 seconds. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Grave Chill. Soul Assumption only level 1. Like, that ability scales okay per level. The mana cost goes down, does slightly more damage, but Grave Chill lasts forever.
They have Chronosphere. If they want to use it on Febby or Frev, probably not. He's just got a Time Walk, I would imagine. Will he pop it? Here comes the heat-seeking missiles on the other side. Chrono dropped down to 2. They have Kyle coming in as well. Febby's in trouble. Wave of Tear will get dropped. Good spike. Carapace might keep him alive. There's the Ravage. He's low. Febby, one auto attack away. The Impale. And oh my god, he actually made it out. I cannot believe it. Now the Time Walk coming into the call down. They're going to try to turn this. Z-Freak's getting low. He has no ultimate. Now he's going to go for the TP Rocket Barrage. He doesn't have it. Z-Freak's gone. Dubu looking for more. Last word coming out. Chessie getting destroyed. The Medallion doing too much. It'll be 1-for-1 trade for now, but they could have gotten so much more for complexity. I think Kyle used the Magic Missile instead of on Febby. He used it on the Tide to get extra damage on him, thinking they would get both of those kills, but he didn't, so...
I mean, I don't blame him. That looked like the most dead Nyx ever. I think one of the mistakes actually was that Z-Freak needed to use his disables on the Nyx before the Chronosphere ended, because once he waited, then Spike Carapace basically just stunned everybody, and then it's really hard to kill the Nyx, because you have to do this like chase and kill thing. So they just had to commit a little harder to the Nyx Assassin because he was kind of difficult to kill, and then worry, not to mention the disable he provides, and then worry about trying to kill the slow and tanky Kraken Shell Tide.
Exactly. So he did try using one of his abilities. I think the Hellbear Smasher at the beginning of the fight didn't really work out, but yeah, you're right. He needed to focus down Febby perhaps a bit more at the beginning. They will try for another smoke in the meantime.
See if anything comes from it. Dubu's not level 6 yet. Ravage is down, so this is a really good time for them to fight.
No Corona, obviously, for another minute. They might run into Gyro. Yeah, they're about to run into him. Magic Missile. There it goes. Wave of Tear. They need the Centaur Conqueror Stomp. They're going to find it here in a moment. Call down will come in. This is a problem. Kyle has to go for the TP. He's not going to make it out. The homing missile was there in time. QO, nice kill. And good turnaround. Complexity just doing that alone without their cores. Febby, in the meantime, top lane. Limp avoids that huge Impale. Might be able to bring him down. Good Plague Ward block, and Febby is going to get dropped by Limp. Solo kill in the top lane, and he gets the tier 1 tower on top of it as well.
He's just playing all about like lane efficiency. Max Poison Sting, Max Wards, no ulti. It's very reminiscent of the last game that we watched Cole play, where they have this single hero just pushes lane solo, and then while the rest do stuff other places.
It's kind of how it feels a little bit like some of the better teams around TI, Liquid doing what they do, kind of pushing out the waves, having heroes behind him and going from there. But Borev, Moo has Chrono. They're going to pop it, I think.
Oh, the tornado
the
kill.
Tornado, the Wild Wing Tornado. They get up a bash. There's the Gale. He's going to go for the TP. They're going to Chrono just to make sure they get the kill. Nicely done. Can't rely on a time lock proc there.
I don't think Frev's too unhappy about that. He's basically saying, Chrono me or I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because they actually didn't have enough damage there. So now it's kind of like an even match compared to what happened before, except Ravage is finally up, so
yeah,
Immortals should be okay. As long as they don't lose their tier 1 tower, I think they're happy with that trade.
They need global too. He's almost there. He just needs this mid lane experience, and maybe they can get global and Ravage down for this bottom lane. I like what they're doing. They have the Plague Wards and the creeps kind of spreading out, trying to find any TPs in. And the Tide is back alive. Will he rotate? It looks like he's heading elsewhere. He has no TP scroll. He just used it, right?
The really cool thing that Cole is doing here, though, is that they left the creeps, but they're moving the heroes away. That way they can still take the tower very rapidly, but the heroes won't be caught, and they can maybe get a kill somewhere else as well.
Yeah, agreed.
It doesn't end up producing anything, but still a very cool movement by them.
They haven't taken the tower yet, but again, the Tide didn't have TP. Once he doesn't have TP, they can't really fight bottom. They would have to walk there, and they wouldn't have made it in time, I don't think. But now we'll have Kyle walk in. Magic Missile's available. Febby's going to walk through. They dropped a ward. That's a Radiant ward, by the way, which Kyle can sentry. And he might... he's actually pretty far in. This is a dangerous position. Ooh, he's going to see him now. Oh, that ward. Not in range of that an observer, but they see Febby, and he's like waiting for it. Magic Missile. Oh, the Spike Carapace. You've got to be kidding me. Wave of Tear comes out. They've got Gale. Swap is available if he wants to use it. Here comes the call down, though, and Z freaking trouble. He's got Hand of God. He's going to have to pop it here, potentially, getting chased down. He actually might just make it away because the jukes are too good. Going for the CP will be a disaster, though. He will fall one way or the other. And they'll take one kill. They're looking for Kyle on the other side of the fight. Both supports on the run. And yeah, they might lose these heroes, but they're still split pushing. They're still getting a lot done, getting a lot of farm in the Veno and on Chesty especially.
Well, Q will go defend the mid lane at least. I think Febby was watching Kyle the whole time and was ready to play him there because they both were so careful, standing still, staring at each other that it just seemed like they both knew what was up.
Yeah.
But they nobody really gets the upper hand particularly, and Cole backs up and continues to farm.
I mean, Limp does have this Midas, so things going into the late game, Limp will do a pretty good job, I would say. The Gyro has a Mask of Madness coming, so does the Void, so it kind of feels like we're settling in for a little bit of a longer game, obviously in comparison to the last game, which was only 20 minutes, I believe. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, Limp got the 90 GPM as well, so he'll be super farmed. He'll probably go Veil, Ags, Blink, I'm guessing.
Right. Maybe
like a BKB afterwards or a Lotus Orb or something. MP is about 800 gold away from his Blink Dagger, which is super important, but it's going to be a while until he finishes that as well. So I feel like Immortals still on the back foot here. They have to wait to leverage things like Ravage and other good teamfight ultimates, but I don't really see Cole running into them if they're grouped as 4.
Yeah, and they can scout things out with wards. They have the Visage Birds as well, which, by the way, Visage Birds also pretty good about finding Tinker. We haven't really talked about that, but something to consider. And they're going to take a giant stack here for QO. And now they have Mech as well. They're going to pop it here in a moment, I'm sure. And this is big. Q getting more farm. He has Mask of Madness. We'll see if Immortals do try to force something now with Global and Ravage up. But again, like you mentioned, it's just complexity dodging and going into different lanes, staying away from each other.
Yeah, Mask of Madness is kind of a cool idea. Slap out the Flax a little bit faster. Kind of makes sense. Yeah. Oh, and he is building eggs. Oh, hell yes, dude. I'm so
Side Gunner. Side Gunner.
I'm a big Side Gunner fan. Have I ranted to you about Side Gunner before?
I probably, but go ahead again.
Would you like to hear the good Side Gunner word? It like doubles your DPS. It's pretty crazy. And it happens when you're stunned. It just goes. And he's going to lifesteal with it.
Yeah.
Mask of Madness.
That's true, actually. I remember when Side Gunner came out and everyone was like, what? And now it's like, oh, yeah.
They definitely had to buff it a few times. The attack speed was kind of weak before, but I mean, it gives you raw HP. He's got a HP perk at 10. You can basically buy all these different, like, attack modifiers, whether, you know, my favorite one is Deso, because it looks like you're shooting lasers, but you can also go like Maelstrom for super fast farming, you can go like a Satanic, you can go Daedalus. There's a lot of cool things you can get. Tide of Trouble, though.
Yep, Magic Missile, they've got the Visage Bird Stomps available, Soul Stomp, she's very tanky. Kraken Shell Mech available as well, you didn't have to use it. They're trying to put some emphasis on pressuring the Tier 1 tower in the mid lane. In the meantime, the Void continues to farm. Top, there's a DD rune, which will be denied, I believe, by the Centaur. And still slowing things down here, man. But again, because he's going Side Gunner, QO can have a pretty good late game, so...
Yeah. But it all kind of depends how fast he gets the Ags and whether or not his team gets a big negative before that point. But if he's able to, like, if they don't lose too much by the time he gets Ags, then you should look at it kind of like a Midas. Right. A Midas that helps you farm and fight really well. Like, even if he gets Chronosphered, he's going to be attacking. Like, it's actually a really good idea, this game. I don't know if he's thinking too much about the Chronosphere part, but against Visage Birds, against, like, all the things to attack that there are, I think Side Gunner is going to be really effective.
Agreed. Meanwhile, Dubu and Forever going to run into a Plague Ward. It's just the two of them, actually. They'll drop a ward down from the trees. There is the Blink Dagger for MP, and I think things get a little easier now for Immortals. They can split push, maybe take some of these Tier 1 towers down finally. I mean, how big of an item is this for MP at this point?
It's pretty huge, just because Cole doesn't have the best... they've got decent scouting, but it basically comes down to, like, Wave of Terror swap, or the birds already being there, or maybe, like, a Blink, or, like, a Time Walk Chrono. So I feel like it kind of gives him a lot of safety to deal with the split push a little bit better. I mean, there's, like, Plague Wards that he'd maybe have to be worried about, but... I feel like this basically relieves a lot of the lane push pressure that Cole is exerting.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully we'll get him a couple more items that he can actually team fight against some of these strong heroes.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Kayas. I don't know if you've been watching Tigger, but it's been like Blink, Ags, Kaya, I think has been the majority of builds, from what I've seen anyway. Which is really interesting.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, because if you think about Kaya, it's like, you basically have 10% more mana, whatever that means.
Yep.
Kind of, for all of your mana costs, and Tinker has a lot of mana costs.
Yeah, and then the
So-
spell implication is like a cherry on top, as I think Base keeps calling it.
Yeah, absolutely. 10% more is huge. Like, what's his talent? His talent at 25 it was like he used to have like 4% spell amp talent. Oh, it's 6% now at 10.
Yeah.
It's not that much, but it adds up to be a lot because Tinker just does so much damage.
Exactly. And once he gets the Aghanim Scepter and that Kai, then things get a bit dangerous here, and the game will progress in such a way. Oh, actually, Fabi might get caught top, or rather, Moo's going to get caught. Impale is going to come out the Heat-Seeking Missiles laser. He might be able to time walk this. Like, a lot of that damage is gone. They're still going to go, and now the Chronos, it has to be used to get Moo out of dodge. You can time walk again, go for a TP. They can still maybe find him now. They don't rearm Blink in time for MPs. So, but again, Chronosphere is down, and that's just 2 heroes requiring that kind of gank to go. So nicely done.
Yeah, and more Mask of Madnesses. Another one on Faceless Void now. So he'll go Shadowblade next, which will be really good for him trying to find and catch and kill the Tinker. But he's still going to need backup for a bit, I think.
Yeah.
How's Chessie doing? Also go next. It's an Ags party this
Yeah,
time.
I was going to say, there's 3 Ags this game, and there might be more as we progress through. Maybe Limp gets one a little bit later. That would be nice. He has Veil now, so probably thinking about it at the very least. There's other options, obviously.
He just purchases Boots of Travel, I think. So, yeah, probably Ags next.
Yeah, we'll see. We've seen like a lot of Solar Crests and Hood of Defiances on Veno before. I don't know if we're going to see it this game. Probably not.
That's okay, yeah.
Febby rotating in. There's the Wave of Tear coming out. It's onto Febby, but they have no idea that he's nearby. Heat-Seeking Missiles will go. That'll hit Chessie, but doesn't do too much damage. His Ags is up and ready. Febby's still in the mid lane trying to find something. They really want this tier 1 tower. They'll continue to throw the March. That'll cover the push coming in from 4Ev. Doesn't do that much damage. Obviously, he's a Tidehunter, but it's got some help. They're going to send the creeps top, then bring him back home, as Complexity was trying to put some pressure on that tier 2. And again, they're just kind of farming the map while Immortals try to take one fight at a time, take one tower at a time. And they will finally find it, but that's the first tower, Kevin. That's literally the first tower they've taken this game for Immortals.
I mean, there hasn't been that many towers on either side taken, really. Just tier 1s, 2 tier 1s now for Cole, and the first one there for Immortals. It's a really good tower to start with, though. And kind of interesting that Cole didn't feel comfortable fighting, but and they do have to worry about global silence and all those other problems.
Yep. Now they have the Granite Golem, or rather whatever Ancient he wants to grab. Which ones are available? Granite Golem is available on the other side of the map. So that's available. They have the Visage Ags now. They have all these big items coming out. Meanwhile, top lane, MP, Chronosphere. Moo is going to find himself a nice little pick-off. Solo Chrono, absolutely beautifully done. Now the global coming out. They're trying to fight bottom. Veno's in trouble. Kyle might just tank this gank. Trying to keep their attention on him. Magic Missile, Wave of Tear. He's actually pretty tanky, all things considered. The homing missile's flying at Limp, though, and he's in a lot of trouble. They're going to split push the tier 2 tower in the top lane, and they're actually not going to go for this. They have to TP back home. Here's the Tide. He still has Ravage available. Moo's going to get caught, potentially. He's got the Time Walk. The time dilation comes in. He wants this tier 1. The Siege Creep will grab it. Good deny, though, from Forev. Bash up, Moo. Now getting jumped on here potentially by more, but Chessie's in. Dubu gets blown away. The Visage Birds are back in, baby. He's going to mech. He has Ravage. He's going to have to use it to survive. Maybe not. He's going to get bashed up like crazy. Moo, one more auto attack. He doesn't even want to use the Ravage. He knows he's dead. He knows he's got no backup coming in. Complexity. They will take 3 kills. Yes, they lose Kyle bottom, but my lord, did they get a lot out of that, including a tier 2 tower in that top lane.
I mean, Immortals reacted really well to the first Chrono. They said, okay, there's 2 heroes top. Let's go engage on bottom. And they get a kill out of it. But immediately afterwards, Cole backs up their other heroes on the top of the map and eventually cleans up too many Immortals. So, I mean, they lose global. That was like 60 seconds ago, though, it looks like. But
yeah,
no Ravage at least was used, but it's not looking good. I feel like they're just getting picked off across the map, and they're 7k gold behind now.
Yeah, it is starting to get rough. 7k. Limp is the one carrying in terms of the net worth. In terms of the numbers, he's the highest, obviously, but the amount of impact Chessie has had, the Void has had. In fact, Limp hasn't really been involved in fights. He's just been split pushing at this point. So, so far, so good for this Cole team. But Febby might look for Moo. They can maybe bots in with somebody. They don't have any creeps nearby, I guess. Not sure what he's trying to accomplish. Febby's just going to leave. All right. Anyway.
Dude, are you addicted to like mid and late chem clarities like I am now?
No, why are you? Well, I mean, maybe in Turbo.
I'm disgusted.
What do you mean you're
play
disgusted? Yeah, of course. Why
One of
not?
those turbo casuals.
I mean, I'm not like, it's not like my favorite thing ever. I enjoy playing Turbo. If I don't have enough time for a real Dota game, or if I want to play with like Trent or somebody, we play Turbo.
I've never
because
played. I haven't played it. How long did the games take?
17 minutes. I've had 4 games just finish at 17 minutes in a row. By the way, pick carries.
Wow.
Do not pick anything other than carries, pretty much. I mean, you can if you want, but like...
Crystal mini carry?
Yeah, you can. I played Dazzle carry in one of my games. It was great. I had a Desolator and I killed so many people with it. But
okay.
Essentially, if there's a sniper, Luna, or Lone Druid in the game, that team will probably win 9 times out of 10.
Lone Druid sounds smart. 12 items.
Exactly. You just get so much gold out of it too.
That's cool. What was I going to talk about instead?
Late game clarities? I don't know.
Yeah. Just they give you so much more in the late game. It's because it's not a static amount. You know, it's buffed by the amount of intelligence you have. So it's amazing to grab one. It feels like half your mana.
Oh my god,
even if you have a lot of
Z-Freak.
mana.
The Ancient Granite Golem, baby. He's going to stay alive for now. The homing missile will hit. They're going to try to fight this. The Gale will come through. That's Veil. He's got the Gush. Z-Freak still, it looks like he will finally fall. It took a lot to get that kill. They pushed him pretty far past the tier 1 tower into the tier 2. Rev will walk into the little meteor dropped down by the fireball, rather, dropped by the Ancient Black Dragon. In the meantime, bottom was getting pushed in. Not really that much damage being dealt. Space created indeed, Kyle. Well said.
Well, that's not all bad.
Yeah. He won't have Hand of God for a while, though.
It's not all terrible. I mean, Vengeful Spirit's got a bunch of aura levels. They haven't even like grouped heavily and fought themselves. Tide picks up the Anchor Smash damage reduction talent. I haven't seen that used before, but that's 85%. That's insane.
That's pretty nuts, actually.
If you build stats, that just wrecks you.
Yeah, that'll definitely hurt a lot.
That's pretty crazy. It's the Morphling counter.
God damn it.
It actually is.
I'm
never
sure,
played
yeah.
against a Tide against Morphling yet, but that's the Morphling counter right there.
Meanwhile, QO about to get caught with Chrono. Break comes in. There's the Silver Edge. Good global to come out. Now they can turn this. They have Ravage. There it goes. Ravage, QO. Oh my god, the side gunner. And now they're going to lose Kyle as well. They were all rotating in. They were all ready for it. And that is a giant fight for Immortals there. Absolutely beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, he's super tanky. And I think people really underestimate that when you play against a Gyrocopter who mysteriously has a negative scepter. It's a lot of HP. And he's lifestealing while you're chronosphering him. Even if it's not a lot, it can add up. It can be like, I don't know, maybe 100 extra HP. They just didn't have the damage there.
I bet if Chessie's there, they get that kill way easier. Does so much damage with the armor reduction.
They need like a medallion or something like that. That's the counter to tons of raw HP. It's not like his agility or his armor's that bad though. He's got like 15 armor.
Right.
Not bad for a gyro.
No, yeah, he's doing pretty well. He's had this axe for a while. Now with the butterfly, things will get even harder at that point. Febby also picks up a Blink Dagger. Are there any other items on this Radiant, or even in general, coming out? MP's now having... So yeah, we're going to have 5 Ags this game, I believe, because the Venom's building one. MP has one here in a moment. So a lot of Ags picked up for both of these teams.
Yeah, and you're right on Frev's build as well. Just Mech Greaves... Or sorry, Mech Pipe into Blink into Greaves.
Yep.
Which makes a lot more sense.
Surprised he didn't build the Greaves first. I guess he doesn't feel like he needs it this game.
It's just a really expensive upgrade, like, and all it does. It's basically, I mean, it's great for the Dispel and the lower cooldown and the aura and stuff, but it's more like, do I need to stop global sounds? No, okay, I'm getting Blink first. But if you do, you might get it first.
Oh, did Febby break that smoke? Yeah, I don't think he saw anybody, but he did definitely break it. They dust. He's already. This is really good for Febby. He even drops a ward.
That's one of those moments where you smoke and you don't realize for like 15 seconds that there was actually somebody there the whole time. Yeah,
pretty depressing for Complexity, but not to be discouraged. They're still moving forward into this mid lane. They have Chrono back up. They have Silver Edge along with it. Roche is a general possibility because, of course, you have this medallion. You have Chessie with the birds, but they need to find a pick first. See if they can't get something going. Oh, that courier's dead, I think.
For the good of Immortals, they want it to be Gyrocopter 100%. So he's finished his Butterfly now, so he's got tons of evasion, tons of armor, and the lifesteal to go with it. He'll build Satanic next, which gives him a nice balance of damage and insane survivability. Yeah. They do get a Nyx kill at least, so they are being semi-successful, but...
Chrono's available for Moo. They're going to pop it. That's pretty big. And now the global comes out. Here comes the call down. They need more damage. There's the reflected laser. Frev gets off the Ravage in time. They're turning it around. More laser damage. Chessie, the Hand of God will come in. He's about to fall. The Pipe of Insight helping for a moment. Another heat-seeking missile. They have to use the Gale. And now you need to back. 1-for-0 trade in this fight. Now the heat-seeking missile going to hit onto Kyle, but he's fine, getting gushed. Or maybe he's not fine. It looks like he's dead, actually. Double kill for MP, now dominating. And again, trying to go on that side, the tankiness, then the turnaround from Immortals. Too strong at this point. Their team fight is absolutely outstanding.
I assume they hit him with the Silver Edge as well, so maybe you didn't even have Kraken, but
yep, they
when
did.
you're sitting on a mech and a Pipe of Insight and you've got almost 2k HP, it takes a long time to die.
Yeah, they have been doing what they can.
They just don't have like the best like chrono comboing heroes actually. Like it's a Veno who's like Gale ulti slow damage. You're not gonna blow that on a solo Tidehunter. You're gonna like attack him slowly from the outside. That doesn't do enough. They don't really have any like range burst carries. They need like a Drow Ranger or a Marana or something. Even Visage is limited by like, can my bats fly into the Chronosphere and hit a guy, or is he on the edge?
Right.
And there's like so many factors that Cole needs to hit for their Chronos to actually be useful at this stage of the game as everybody gets tanky.
And you have to remember, this was kind of supposed to be a fast-paced game plan here from Complexity because they had the Veno, they had the Visage, they had the Chen, and it's not turning out that way. They've done a great job splitting up the map Immortals, making sure they can start pushing themselves now all of a sudden. And Aegis is up. They can definitely continue this up. They might just leave. They don't have Ravage for another 50 seconds. Gale will hit onto QO. The Greaves will come out. Forev is still fine. They're going to have the Penitents coming in. A lot of damage to the March, covering the path of retreat, though. Refracted Laser going again onto the Birds. Has to drop him down. Familiar's now healing back up. MP continues to march it up. The pipe will go. Chrono at the back lines. They're going to swap in the Poison Nova. They need more damage. So far, they've only got the Aegis. MP's in trouble. He might get caught. The TP, he won't make it out in time. They will grab the kill. Now looking for Q yet again, and he's going to chase down Soul Assumption. Moo gets a double. They also get a double for Limp. It's 4 dead. They're going to get all 5. Beautifully done coming in. Complexity will team wipe Immortals. Absolutely outstanding. Huge 5 kills.
Such a sick team fight. The crucial thing being Tinker disabled on the back line, and Veno gets in to do his combo, because that's what was holding them back before. They didn't want to jump the Veno in, do a bunch of damage when it's just a single Chronosphere Tidehunter. But in that circumstance, Chronosphere, the guy that's going to blind everybody, drop the Veno ulti on like 5 heroes, the fight's over instantly. They didn't even get Global Silence off. Like, that fight was just over.
And that is one of the best initiations you could have possibly had for Complexity. The problem is, can they do that again? And that felt like it was really strong. There wasn't Ravage available. If there was, I don't think he got it off in time. So you got to wonder, how much can you get done now with this time? They have 15 seconds. There is buyback. They might actually just get this tier 3 tower. Maybe not. The Glyph will come in.
They did not have Ravage there because they used it in the mid fight, I think.
Right.
It came up right after he died.
It's tier 3 tower. I think Chessie needs to back. They're coming in. They want this tier 3. They're going to go for a TP on Chessie. Now Moo will leave. And that's huge. Now you could get those shrines. You can take over the map. You can even go for the bottom tier 2, which is exactly the line they're drawing, perhaps. We'll see.
And BKB's queued up for Venomancer. Anything else new? Pretty big gold graph change, actually, with that one.
Yeah.
It's going down and up and down again.
That is, it's all over the place. Yeah, it's true. It was going really well for Cole for a long time, and then there was that, one big fight. Then things change, and they switch around again, and I don't know, man. I mean, again, this was kind of an early game centric. It looks like an early game centric lineup for Complexity, but the fact that they're doing this well in the late game is pretty damn good.
A Dagon for Chen.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, you wanted to see Z-Freak on the Wind Ranger and get him items. You're going to get the Dagon. That's what he's getting.
Penitence Dagon. Okay. Interesting.
I like it. He's going to zap some people.
Gyro's getting closer to Satanic.
Yeah, that will be huge. So now you can't really burst him down, maybe?
Well, you still can. It depends. Does he react to Chronosphere in time, or you could get that new urn upgrade.
The Spirit Vessel? Yeah, that would be hype, actually.
Get a Spirit Vessel to reduce the Satanic lifesteal. I assume that works.
I really like that item, but a lot of the games I've seen it in recently, it hasn't done too much.
Yeah, I haven't bought it a single time yet. The upgrade is actually not great, to be frank. The damage increase is okay, but it's more about the prevent somebody from healing while it's dealing damage to them, I think, is the big benefit. Yeah. And other than that, it's like 250 HP and 30 movement speed bonus. And then you still have to buy in a recipe increase. It's actually quite expensive, I think.
Yeah.
For the upgrade. I think that's basically like a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff on many supports, so generally not worth buying. But maybe this game.
It's kind of a you're ahead type of item. Let's try to stay ahead sort of thing, I feel like.
It's like a very situational counter, I think. Counters Morphling, counters people with super high regen, counters Huskar. Like, there's a couple of heroes that's good against, but I think it's a situational pickup.
Yeah, for sure. We will see if anybody builds that Spirit Vessel. For now, I don't even... Does anybody have an urn? I thought somebody did.
Venge does,
Venge does,
but
yep.
he's obviously going to get some mobility first. There's probably somebody else. Let me see. No, nobody on the Radiant team.
Yeah, urn not picked up for them. Any other big items that we're missing? We have a gem now up for Limp. Chelsea's building AC. Dagon we talked about. Moose BKB is coming. Satanic for the Gyrocopter. So yeah, some big items, mostly for the Dire team, coming out next.
Helps to win team fights.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if the Satanic works well. I think when I would occasionally see an Ags build on Gyro, it was almost always like Ags into Satanic, which I wasn't a big fan of. But I think it can work here based on the way that he did like a fast like butterfly back into Satanic transition.
Yeah.
Because you have to have good damage, otherwise the whole Ags thing is just not that great anyways.
You need the attack speed.
The Ags Satanic. Yeah, mostly just the damage. Like you need your hits to actually do something so that your lifesteal amount is okay.
Yep. And it should work out pretty well for him now, assuming he can stay alive if he gets chronoed or something. But it looks like Complexity are totally fine, just chilling, waiting around, making sure they can maybe go for another Roche, split push the map, keep bottom pushed in. Make sure you deal with the Tinker at this point. So, I don't know, man. There's a 9K lead for Complexity, but it's not like this game's over. In fact, it's not even really close to being over at this point. It's so much damage in Tinker and what Gyrocopter can do that it just takes one good Ravage, it takes one good Global to come out, and Complexity can lose a lot with this next fight. No.
On the same vein, though, if Veno just presses his ultimate button, he does 2,400 magic damage.
That's always
in a
nice.
giant AoE, so... And he's also close to level 25. I'm curious if he'll get the, like, Obscene Plague ulti or Poison Nova AoE. Have you used that before?
No, not yet.
It's beautiful, man.
Oh, my God. Is he dead? He's dead. He knows he's dead, too.
No, he's going to press his ultimate and everyone.
Press your ultimate. He's going to BKB TP.
Aw, come on.
Easy. I
am actually so disappointed that he did not ulti there.
They were coming to try to help him fight. He could have maybe stayed around.
But get this. It's a 60-second cooldown, but it lasts for 22 seconds. That's only like a 40-second cooldown, and they would basically all have to go heal at that point.
True.
That's space created.
Yeah, he could have ulted, and they could have fought 4 versus 5 and maybe won the fight. I'm sure it's probably safer not to do that, but still.
I just would have done it because it's really annoying. Because you're like, hey, just ulted your whole team. I don't know.
Ooh, the scan. Ooh,
he's thinking more about actually winning the game. Oh, that.
Chelsea's about to get jumped on. The Impale, he pops the pipe just in time. Global will come in. This is so far so good. Ravage hits up. It's on to 3, but still not that great just yet. They're going to find Zefric. The Hand of God gets it off in time. So far, 1-0. There's that Poison Nova. Kyle taking a lot of damage as well. They're looking for more. MP gets himself another kill. It's a 2-for-1 trade for now. Chessie getting chased down, but Frev also taking some serious damage. In the meantime, Moo's not there to come in with the Chronosphere. He's finally coming in. The Chrono missed. What a Blink Dagger. MP is going to make it out. The laser making it miss. Febby's now going to get jumped on instead. Mask of Madness, he's going to lose this gem. Won't get denied. They will have the other side. Frev also getting chased down. They actually turned it around pretty well, all things considered. Good blink away, though, just in time for Frev. And Moo now stuck up the high ground. Cannot find that 4th kill, which would have been huge to even that fight out. So still very close fight. A lot used there. But it does definitely go Immortals' way.
Such a good initiation there by Febby. Like, he saw which way they were coming from, and he just does this like perfect blink stun in the direction that they were probably running to. Grabs 2, they could do global silence. Just really good team fight, but ultimately just a little bit too much firepower from Cole's side, and the Venom ulti also did a lot.
Yeah. And it's back up ready to go, so once he gets up, they can head to Roche as well and kind of just make sure they can secure this, because guess what? All of those abilities are down. You have no Ravage, you have no global. And they're in Roche, but guess what? It's not up. 6 seconds. 6 seconds on Roche respawn. Chessie will stay in here for maybe 3 seconds. He'll find it. He's going to see it.
Count to 0, Mott.
There it is. He's got it. They're going to ping it out.
I thought Roche would be bigger.
Nah. He's just chilling. I'm going to grab this baby Solar Crest. Yep.
They're super farmed at this point. Let's say have these beefy creeps too.
God, dude. They killed this within seconds. Aegis and cheese.
You want to play Count the Auras?
Sure. Let's do it. Who has it?
Venge is like what? Like at least like 30% damage increase?
Yeah.
34% damage.
Oh,
never
hold
mind
that
this
thought.
fight.
And Pale onto 2 here, the call down as well. So far, so good for this Immortals team. They will drop Z-Freak instantly. Can't get off the hand of God. Chessie's taking a lot of damage. She's got cheese. Might need to use it here. They'll take one on the other side. That's Dubu, and Chessie's still getting chased down. A lot of damage being dealt, and he is in a lot of trouble. The Impale will hit. Swap out by Kyle. There it is. Now the turn comes the Poison Nova. Now you got it back, Immortals. The Chrono will come in. The BKB from Moo. The Rocket Barrage. He's staying alive for now, but not much longer. The Wave of Tear. They're going to drop him here. The heat-seeking missiles can't do enough in time. Fails dropped. Great refracted laser and Impale onto 2. Doing a lot. There's going to be another great kill. MP gets the double. Somehow he turns it around with the help of Febby and getting a great stun off. And that will be a 3-for-3 trade. And I believe they picked up the gem as well along with it.
Dude, these fights are insane. MP's damage in the last bit of time was crazy. But I feel for Chessie right now. Like, every fight is so hard for him to take because they jump in, they do AoEs, and his bats are dead right off the bat. It's like he needs his ultimate for when they initiate and deal a bunch of damage just so he can resummon the damn things.
Yeah.
It's been really tough for him. He uses the cheese, barely saved by Kyle with a super sick swap. If it wasn't for that, the fight would have felt a lot harder. But even dealing with like MP now is feeling impossible because they need a chrono like 3 different heroes on Immortal's side. They have to kill the Gyro, they have to kill the Tinker, they have to kill the Tide. It's really hard for Cole to have the Disable and the Firepower to pick off everybody.
Yeah, and there was that one, this is what we were talking about, there was that one big fight top lane, but again, I said, can they do it again? Can they have that type of fight again? Right now, they've been trading rather evenly, which isn't bad for Complexity. They're still getting a lot of farm, but yeah, MP is definitely a nuisance. He has bots 2 now. He's getting about as big as he's going to get. He might, I don't know, get rid of the Soul Ring. He's going to have a Hex next. And Immortals, they still have the fortitude. They still have the items to be able to, I think, win this game here, Kevin. Even down 10K.
Yeah, they definitely can. Tinker is pretty ridiculous, obviously, because any gold that you have can be refreshed many times in a team fight. So I think the E-Blade was a good pickup. Just gives them the ability to stop some right-click damage. Whoever gets chronoed, E-Blade them. Didn't work out so well in the last fight because the Gyro was going to die to Venom Poison anyways, but it's a cool pickup. And then afterwards, he's going to go Hex, so no Dagon for him. But
no,
I think that's okay because Hex is way better in a lot of cases here, just because undispellable, of course.
Yep.
And should give you some reliability at kills.
Yeah, agreed. There's also an E-Blade, by the way, on the Venomancer, and now they have a Dagon, I think 4 or 5 for Dagon, 4 for the Chen. So E-Blade Dagon's available. I mean, they could catch this Tinker, you know, whether in a Chronosphere or whatever, and they can blow up one person. Might not be able to blow up the Tide Hunter, but like the Tinker is definitely susceptible. Both supports are susceptible. We'll see if that can't happen here. And they'll find a DD for Moose. So it might be go time because now they have Chrono as well. They're going to smoke immediately with this thing. Up top, QO is split pushing. His team's kind of behind him. They have a ward that saw Febby as this walks through the sentry. They need more detection. They need a gem, which they do have on Z-Freak. But they're going to move a different direction instead. They're going to move towards mid. Wrap around this direction here. Kyle will lead the way. Tide, not the hero they really want to jump on. Febby's Vendetta up, about to walk into Z-Freak. There they go. The smoke breaks. And Dagon comes out. Great Impale coming in. Maybe not, actually. The Global comes out. There's the Ravage. BKB coming out from Moo. He's got the Chronosphere at the ready. Febby in trouble. 1-for-0 trade so far. Chrono's about to come out. He's looking instead for this Tinker. He needs more damage, and he is destroying him. Moo gets the double. See you later, MP. You're done, so there's the Poison Nova. He's got to buy back. Now that Chrono is down, it's time to fight Moo. Trying to man fight the heat-seeking missile, rather. Homing missile is going to hit. He's level 25. He's got the Aegis. He's going to time walk a lot of that damage away. MP's still going. He's got the Ethereal Blade. Great stun coming in from the Familiar. They need a lot more help, though. Moo's just going to get caught again. Still time walks away, and Chessie is doing everything that he can, and they're going to find QO finally getting dropped in that Gyro. But the trade will be there. Olympus also going to get taken down now for 90 seconds. Will they try to turn and fight again? Moo and Chessie are ready. Again, Moo still has this Aegis looking for Dubu. He's going to go for the TB. Do they have the bash? They do. The TB not going to complete for the Tinker in time. And they even get another gem back for Moo. And that's actually pretty huge, forcing the buyback on MP, losing QO again. That's a pretty great fight there, I would consider, Kevin, for Complexity.
Yeah, it was not bad at all, but it still looks so even every single team fight. Every fight starts awful for Cole because of Global Silence and Ravage, but afterwards they somehow fight it out with some really good Chronospheres and enough damage. Like I feel like Immortals has to kill the Veno, I believe, to make these fights easier. They're kind of like blowing up Visage Bats and like kind of focusing Visage a little bit, maybe killing Shen creeps. But if they just kill Veno, I feel like the fight is won because as soon as his Poison Nova comes out, the fight's over. It just does way too much damage. So they got to kill him before he spits his little like green yellow stuff all over the team fight area, and then I think they can work things out.
Yep. It's going to be a tough call. I mean, they've killed him a lot of times. He has an Ethereal Blade, too, plus BKB, so he's actually rather tanky and tough to deal with. But there is a definite possibility they find him and kill him. But we'll slow things down for now, although Kyle's probably dead, getting chased by Febby. The Impale will hit, and see you later. Maybe not. Swap.
He's about to haunt them.
Uh-oh. Kyle, heat-seeking missiles. He's earning up. They have the Chronosphere now looking for MP, realizing this could be a huge kill. He has no buyback. It's a lot of damage being done. The Ethereal Blade coming out. He's going to try to rearm and get the hell out of here, but here comes the Vicious Familiar drop. They really want MP. Can they take him down? They sure can. Dead for 2 minutes. Moo. The swap from Kyle. 4 having trouble. Got to get dropped. No, makes it away. Instead, they're looking elsewhere. They're going to find a double kill and a godlike spree as Duba will fall next. Immortals, they lose their biggest hero, the Tinker, now down for 100 seconds, and that might be enough to finally get some of these buildings here, Purge.
Yeah, finally Cole has a really resounding teamfight win, and it was more of like a gank that turned out really well, but Moo's just been dominating this game. I love his build as well, just all damage perks, just trying to do his best to carry the game, and that's basically what they needed because they didn't have enough damage this game. He's looking to grab a hero if he can. He's got Break ready to go.
This Chessie Soul Assumption talent is pretty funny. 2 hits 2 targets. There's the Ravage coming in. They have Moo. He's got BKB. Can he get it off? He doesn't have enough mana for Time Walk, however. He's going to try to fight anyway, and he's just dead. The Greaves, they came out a little bit too late there, and they're going to turn in the Poison Nova. There's that Dagon hit. The Penitent's coming out. He'll try to TP away. He's taking a lot of damage. They need more. He's going to make it out just in time. Maybe he dies in the well. It's going to be close. He's fine, it looks like, so he will stay alive. They make sure that he gets out of dodge. Moo will buy back. And Limp's BKBing. This is actually really dangerous with Moo buying back. They really want to take this Rax. They know that Tinker didn't buy back here. Ravage is down. I don't think he has a Refresh Orb, or he's even close to it for that matter. In fact, he's going Shivas. Rax will be taken down in this mid lane. That's huge for complexity, but you got to be careful with Moo having only no buyback now, so.
And he goes for this +3, or 3 times Plague Ward damage too.
Oh,
they're going to go fight more.
Chessie is in. Magic Missile. Forev still very tanky. Here comes the global. They'll lose Kyle. Febby trying to chase after Moo. They want to take him down. I think you need to be careful. Chrono. It hits. Okay. There's the Ethereal Blade. The Dagon coming out. QO taking a lot of damage. Now in the back lines. Dude was going to get dropped. QO. Satanic? He popped the Satanic. Gets stunned by the Familiar, I believe, and still is in a lot of trouble here. The break comes out. They need more damage. There's the BKB. The time dilation. The pendants. The kill. Moo gets a double. They do have Violet back on the Gyrocopter, and they're going to need it, but maybe not yet. Limp's now in trouble. Perhaps he needs to back away. Ethereal Blade is up. They can go on forever with that Zapper as well. Z-Freak has the level 4 Dagon at the ready. MP still marching it up. Now finally back alive. It looks like they won't be able to get the second set of racks. They need to be careful. The Chronosphere is still down for 75 seconds. Moves running in. He might wrap around, or they might just back off. I'm not sure what you want to do as complexity here.
I mean, I think they've got the time here. Just keep spamming with bats. Chessie doesn't have a new set for 70 seconds, but if they can do damage, let it be done.
They'll try their best. Rev will take a full soul assumption to the back of the head. Febby and crew still on the front lines. Limp's nearby. Z-Freak has Hand of God in 3. That heal is ready to go. The march continues. The tier 3 slowly getting whittled away. It's taking a long time. Plague Words may need to be dealt with. Forev's doing his best. He'll take some hits here. Blank Dagger being put on cooldown because, of course, the Plague Wards are doing a great job. Chessie, he has BKB. They'll jump in. Chronosphere isn't ready. Oh, my God. See you later, Tidehunter. Forced to buy back. Ravage still not available for 5 seconds, so very soon they're going to have this Ravage. They might jump in. The Impale coming out. Moo. He might be getting caught here. Time walks away and gets sent home by Z-Freak. Nicely done. They force out the buyback. They've got what they've accomplished, or wanted to accomplish, rather, and they can now make it away for complexity. Wow, that was a huge turn of events there. Huge 5-minute, pretty much timing span where they take absolutely everything they wanted.
Yeah, they're just, at this point, they just seem like they're outmatching what Immortals is trying to do. The Gyros build is kind of just fallen through, and I think that's just because Cole's nice diversity and damage. Like, basically, QO builds to survive right-clicks, because that seems like to be the biggest threat from the Cole side, and then all of a sudden Z-Freak comes out of nowhere with the Dagon 5, and he's just bursting him down from, like, full HP to 30% instantly.
Yeah.
And then because he has just Butterfly, Ag, Satanic, he doesn't actually do that much damage. And when he pops Satanic, it doesn't even look like his Satanic is activated because it just doesn't do that much damage.
Or he gets disabled. But now he has a BKB, which kind of helps, I guess.
That helps, but he still doesn't do damage. He's more survivable. He's better at team fighting, but he spent like 3 items being too focused, I think, on survivability maybe. Maybe he needed like an earlier BKB, then he buys like a raw damage item to lifesteal off of. But right now, it's not the best circumstance for Immortals. They need a pretty crazy team fight to get a win here, because it seems like Cole has all the tools they need for every hero on the enemy team to win a fight.
I agreed, but again, we can't count out Ravage and Global Silence. I think if you get a good one for Forev, this is all of a sudden, especially if they take a fight outside the base, Immortals can do a lot of work. But we have Cole kind of split up, so.
You know what else could be huge is if they're able to get the 3rd Roshan and get a Refresher Shard on time.
Oh, yeah.
That could also be huge.
That's coming up here. It's actually up in 20 seconds. And Complexity, they have Chrono. They need to, I think, make a move. There's a lot of good vision for Immortals, though, which kind of makes it a lot harder for Complexity to move out of the base. And Kyle is invis around. He's got a gem. He's looking for targets in the enemy jungle. They should know they're kind of in this area, one would assume. We should have an understanding at the very least, or at least on the top side of the map. And we'll see who makes the first move. Immortals playing rather patiently on the high ground. Complexity have Moo. He has a DD, actually, with a Silver Edge. I think you need to make a movement happen.
Get spotted, though.
They're going to try to go. They have these Visage Birds that'll stop them from chasing. QO, BKB's ready. Magic Missile comes out. That'll be into Forev. Soul Assumption to fall. Where's this Chronosphere? Moo's waiting in the wings. He has this BKB. He has the double damage as well. Moo is really trying to jump in here as best as possible, and now he's going to wrap all the way around. Still invis up with the Silver Edge. They really want to find a kill. Febi's going to walk on by. They haven't spotted him yet. They're all going to back up. Bottom lane was getting pushed in. They took the tier 3 tower in the meantime. I think it was the Plague Wards from Limp that did the job for the most part. We'll see if they can't find somebody. DD should be done now. It's almost done for Void, so he won't be able to use it during this fight, unfortunately. Limp's going to get caught completely out of position. Ravage coming in. He's in trouble. Vendetta, he's going to get dropped. He has buyback. Might need to use it here. Siegfried can't even get off his ultimate. He's down for 85 seconds. All of a sudden, Immortals have opened up the opportunity to not only take Roshan, but to take a lot more as well. There's the Veno buyback, but Chessie's in a lot of trouble. He'll have to pop the BKB. Febi goes for the Impale. Can't get it off in time. There's the Poison Nova. They already dropped the Tinker on the back lines. I think Moo used his Chronosphere for it, and he did. Tinker's forced to buy back. Dubu getting jumped out as well. Chrono, he already doesn't have that Global Silence. Now the TP coming in from MP. He blinks away in time, but QO taking so much damage from this Veno ult. The Wave of Terror comes out. The Familiars are there. Febi now buys back Forev. There's the Satanic. QO, he needs to fight this. Chessie's getting low. Swap away and the Ethereal Blade. They'll take down Kyle, but that's it for now. Chessie getting run at. MP gets a double kill. He will TP home successfully. The Void is elsewhere. He wasn't in the fight. He was already too low, and that's going to be a couple of big kills for Immortals. Really important fight coming in for this Radiant team.
It was so close to. I don't even think Immortals was going to win that. Once the Veno bought back and jumped in and Nova'd everybody, I thought the fight was going to inch to be over, but Q was actually able to stay alive in the team fight, eventually heal back up, and everything went well.
Yeah,
there was no Chen creeps there. There was no Chen with Penitence Dagon. That was actually a significant part of every single fight, because if he was there to do a Penitence Dagon test of faith, that's a dead Gyrocopter for sure. They outlasted the BKBs, but it didn't quite add up to enough.
They cannot contest this Roshan for Complexity. This is going to be Aegis Cheese and a Refresher Shard. So now you have double Ravage to play up against. And Immortals, they're not dead yet. They're still down 11k. They're still down one set of racks and another tier 3 on top of it. They now have a Bloodthorn. This is where the damage is coming in. This is what you were talking about. You need damage for the Gyrocopter, and boy, does he have it now here, Purge.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not amazing. The raw damage it gives is not great. But when you get the active on somebody and you're guaranteed critting on both of his hits, then it's really fantastic. So on the right target, yeah, it can be really good here. But there's a lot of BKBs on Cole's side, so we'll see how it works out. At least on, like, I guess Void is iffy too. He's got Black King Bar and he's got Manta. The Veno has a BKB. The Visage has a BKB.
Yes.
We'll see how it works out. It could be really useful in some of those moments if he gets disabled from his allies. And that way they can just crit on the Bloodthorn while they're stunned or something. That could be really, really useful. So Immortals definitely has a way back into the game, and that last fight was the perfect way. They got to land the stun on the important tier, the Veno, and chain stun him until he dies so that he can't Nova off, and then they have to run down the rest of the team. The
Chen especially, like you talked about, it's a very good point. Penitence Dagon not being there, especially now that it's a level 5 Dagon as compared to the level 4 earlier in the game. He does so much damage. He blows away a lot of these heroes. You don't get BKB off of the Gyrocopter, you might just straight up die to the Penitence Dagon. But for now, They will have to rely on sitting in their base for Complexity. Will slow things down for a moment. Maybe not. The smoke comes in. I love this play from Complexity. Smoke into the Aegis. This is what Vici Gaming was doing so well at the Dota Pit Minor. Being aggressive at the weirdest times, trying to find some heroes to grab. But the problem is that there's a lot of wards in these in this jungle, so they know that they're not farming in this particular area. Febby also might come in and break the smoke. And they're going to move straight down mid right now for Complexity, trying to find whatever they can at this point in the game.
He's got his creepy unobstructed pathing too.
Yeah.
What about 100 agility, man? That's 100 agility.
Dude, this is the first time I've seen this, I think. It's so weird. He's skittering around all over the damn place.
I mean, it's definitely very good. Being able to walk up and down cliffs pretty much wherever you want. He's basically got the mobility of a Monkey King without the vision at this point.
Ooh,
but 100 agility mod.
It's pretty good. I think they're trying to find MP, by the way. I think he's going to try to defend this. No, they're all rotating back now. Maybe they can find a Chrono here. We'll see. Febby blinks in. They'll see him top lane. I don't know what Complexity do. Again, Aegis, Cheese, they have the Refresher Shard as well. So, I mean, all these items, all these things up and ready to go. And Gyrocopter, he pretty much has 3 lives. He is the Aegis, he has Satanic, he has the Cheese to work with as well. So, this guy should be unkillable, theoretically. But we'll see. And they will back up together as a team for Complexity.
They just got to look for the right moment, basically. Just the Chronosphere on the core heroes, the important heroes that they need to catch. They've certainly got the snowball advantage with all of their stacking ores and things, but they got to be careful now just because there's no buybacks for a long time. Like, if Venno dies right now, that's 4 minutes dead.
You could say the same thing for the MP Tinker, though, and also Febby, too.
I suppose, like, both teams are kind of even on that.
Yeah.
So maybe both teams are going to avoid for now. They'll just the downside is if they wait on Immortals' side, they might lose their Aegis.
Exactly. It is going to be tricky for sure. They have how much time? About a minute and 45 seconds left with this Aegis still up and ready. They'll still have Cheese after that.
Yeah, I feel like they'll let it go for sure, most likely. Because, well, no, I guess they're going to force it.
Yeah, they're pushing right into mid.
They have less buybacks, but it looks like the Tide might. No, he doesn't have enough gold. I mean, they're a little bit all in here.
This is dangerous for sure. They
are down to racks.
Exactly. They need to get something going. They have to have Ravage, Silence Initiation coming out of afterwards. Where's the Dagon at? There it is. I think that's dead Aegis. That is so big. Complexity with a giant play. Shiva's Guard, Ravage comes in. They're looking for the Venno. He's in trouble. Good swap out. They get the global, but it's too little too late, I feel like. And now they're just getting dove underneath the tier 3 tower. This is maybe too much. Chessie will lose his familiars. He has no resummon. I think he just used it, in fact. But Kiwo's still in trouble. He's got Cheese. They really want this Rax coming in. MP's not here anymore. There's the Dagon. The Satanic is popped. Now that's down. So they just have to get through the BKB and Cheese next tier. The Venno is still going. Frev's taking a lot of damage. He's got the Refresher Shard, mind you. On the other side, there's the Chronosphere. Mu has jumped in. He's looking for the Febby, Nick's Assassin, and now they're going to have another TP key coming in. Q pops the BKB. There's that Cheese. He gets out with the Silver Edge as well, of course. They don't have any vision. The gem was on the deck. The bash comes out. Tinker, he has to use that Ethereal Blade on himself. The Soul Assumption. He'll try for the TP. He's not going to make it out. He's going to get Test of Faith down. Z-Freak gets the job done. 4 dead, and with everybody down for about 100 seconds on Immortals, that might be enough to win this game. Complexity. They bait out the man fight. They take down the Aegis, and they blow away the Gyro and the Tinker once more. They have to force the buyback at QO, but my God, Purge, there's not much left in the tank for this Immortal squad.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Z-Freak's just split pushing bottom with a single Greater Black Dragon, and instantly they can TP in and continue pressuring the bot racks.
Yeah, there's
just everything being planned ahead by Cole, and it all starts with a really good Chronosphere on the backline.
Mu has done such a great job.
That was like 15 seconds in the fight, but still pretty significant.
Yeah, he is going to get Bloodthorned up. He will Mansa it off. Doesn't even need to use the BKB. We'll get Homing Missile as well. They have the racks. They're getting it dropped down. There's the Poison Nova coming in along with the Gale. The Dagon, he's going to die back. Oh. That's it. Game over. Complexity ended with a bang. The Laser Pow coming in. GG well played is called. QO calling it. And now they are down 0-2 in this best-of-5 series.
Cole looking like they really want to take this. I mean, their drafting was amazing this game. It wasn't the most obvious kind of push kind of play. It didn't end up being like that. It turned into more of like a weird team fight, burst damage kind of lineup, but they really played the different stages of the game really well. And they ultimately it led to this point where their itemization gave them this really big team fight advantage. And Immortals just kind of fell flat a little bit in a lot of fights. Like, they fell flat almost entirely. I feel like the whole game, it felt like their combos and abilities and item builds were just not quite hitting the mark that they needed. Whereas Cole seemed to be except for like the short period from like 20 to 30 minutes, they always had what they needed to beat Immortals. It just came down to like finding the right time to execute.
Yeah, absolutely. And quietly, I would say Chessie having a very good game, only dying once, 6-1-20. I think Chessie's impact wasn't the biggest to notice. We always talked about the Dagon. We talked about some of the swaps. We talked about what Moo accomplished. But Chessie, he was pumping out the damage. He was making sure they did a lot. In fact, he had 25,000 damage. Pretty good. Not quite as much as Limp and Moo, but
how did he only die one time?
I know.
I watched him get chain initiated like 8 times this game, where I was like, his bats are dead. He's at half HP. He's dead, right? And I stopped watching. I can't believe he's only dead once.
Yeah, it's actually outstanding. And Chessie and Limp performing well. All of Complexity starting to find their stride here, especially in these qualifiers. They are one game away from making it to Washington, D.C. for the Captain's Draft 4.0 minor. Will they make it, or will we get to see game number 4 from Immortals? Stick around, guys. We'll find out after this break.